Welcome to chapter 1087. This chapter, we got some lore about Kuzan and Garp's relationship. The cover page was pretty cute this chapter, with Ace and capybaras. Anyways, let's get right into it. Kuzan and Garp are using battleships as punching bags, and even without using hockey or devil fruits. That's super crazy. Does this imply that Kuzan has his devil fruit ever since he met Garp? Or was it sometime later, where Garp then said not to use his devil fruit either? I think we might have an answer later in the chapter. We also see Full Body and Django being told this story. Is this the training arc we need for these two? Maybe. Both Sanji's introduction of crushing Full Body and him becoming what the Marines fear the most are foreshadowing for Sanji beating up a trained Full Body. Back on Hachinosu, we see Sanhan Wolf get thrown into the water. Not sure how they're gonna get him out of the water before he drowns since he's so freaking ginormous. Vasco Shot, using alcohol, shoots some fire out of his mouth. He's also crossing his fingers like a heart. Seems like he got so drunk that he's expressing affection to Garp. Maybe that's why they showed a battleship in the beginning of the chapter to foreshadow the ship between Garp and Vasco Shot. Garp then nonchalantly uses pirates as a shield against Vasco Shot's fire blast. You can see the dyssynergy between the Blackbeard pirates because Vasco Shot hurt Pizarro, who is taking the form of Hachinosu. If this is happening at the same time as Egghead, it's unfortunate that Pizarro can't be on the ship heading to Egghead. I would have loved to see Pizarro become Egghead Island. Garp is handling all the pirates on Hachinosu, while Kujaku, Hibari, and Tashigi evacuated all the captured marines to depart at any time. Garp makes the decision to retreat back to the ship with Gruss, Helmeppo, and Kobe. I'm so proud. We get to see a second Kobe feat of kicking a fodder pirate. The first one being Kobe's fight with Luffy.
Bruh.
Oh, I guess it's just the only Kobe feat we have seen so far. Kobe fans are hyped. Then Aokiji shows up, saying he can't let Garp leave. This appearance was pretty cold. See what I did there? We see Gruss asking Garp about him also being the future of the Marines, and Garp just dono-walling him to talk about Kuzan instead. This scene with all of them lined up was sick. Kobe gets the Odin treatment by saving a woman who is faking to be captured. This panel definitely can't be taken out of context. Garp swoops in and saves Kobe, but was stabbed by Shiryu of the Rain. Garp must have an insane observation haki to recognize that Shiryu was there. One thing to notice as well is that the blade is not hidden, so maybe he noticed a flying blade. We have seen that in our world with floating objects as well. So this means that Shiryu hasn't awakened his fruit yet to hide his blade. Garp took some damage with that attack and fists Shiryu with no haki as well on his hand. Shiryu just laughs in his face that he played dirty and got a hit in on Garp. Shiryu was not aiming for Kobe but Garp, while Kaido was disappointed and felt guilty that his fight with Odin was interrupted by a deception. The Blackbeard pirates on the other hand don't care about using dirty tricks like this. The fodder. Wait, why is this fodder caked up? Oop, I got distracted. The fodder run to Garp, believing him to be weakened. Are they delusional? Even though he has a bounty of 3 crowns, which is 3 billion berries, the same as the admirals, they think they can claim the bounty because he got stabbed? Also, does this mean that Kuzan would be worth 3 billion berries as a pirate since he was a former admiral? Kuzan even tells the fodder to get out of his way because he knows how strong Garp is. Then we get a flashback of Garp and Kuzan before they strike one another. Kuzan wants to become Garp's student, but Garp says to get lost. Garp also seems to be similar to Luffy because of how he doesn't want his freedom to be taken away. Kuzan also seems determined to be stronger because he has already learned everything he could from the marine instructors and wanted to become as strong as Garp. Garp and Kuzan punch battleships without using haki. And to answer the question from before if Kuzan had his devil fruit before training with Garp, it seems like he didn't since Garp says not to use haki, but they didn't say anything about using his devil fruit. So this can imply that he didn't have his devil fruit when he met Garp. But you could make the argument that this stuff around the ship here, which is not around Garp's ship, could be Kuzan using his ice powers. Slowly, Kuzan's whacking power becomes like Garp's bam power over time. You can also see the progression of time because Garp's son, Dragon, became a revolutionary, which was around the time after the Ohara incident. Garp calling Dragon his son also disproves the theory that Garp had a daughter who married Dragon, and that's why Garp didn't call Dragon his son. Garp also has a habit of eating snacks and tea. I wonder if he has an appetite similar to Luffy's.
Tell him to bring out the whole ocean. Tell him to bring out the whole ocean.
Then we cut to the present of Garp and Kuzan punching each other in the face with hockey, which was strong enough to push both of them away. Pizarro says that the ship at the coast is not safe from him as he creates a giant hand to smush the ship. You can also see all the other limbs in this panel. Hibari also got unfrozen, and the first thing she looks for is Kobe. Garp says to Kobe not to lose his composure and that justice will prevail, which calls back to Doflamingo's speech at Marineford. How they are going to get out of this ordeal, I have no idea. Pizarro says he wants to be famous as well because the newspaper only talks about Blackbeard. Him reading out the events himself as if they were true makes me believe that the Marines do get exterminated here by Pizarro, since Oda wouldn't make him say all this with no reason. It also makes sense for the story, since Blackbeard needs to gain something from this like he always does. After that grueling month-long break, it's good to be back reading more One Piece. This chapter has some sick progression and a good flashback about Garp and Kuzan, which tells more about who they are compared to now where they have to fight one another. This chapter, I'll give it a 7 Future of the Marines out of 10 because there wasn't any sick reveals or insane fights, but it was still enjoyable to see the fights between Garp and Kuzan. That cliffhanger of Pizarro about to crush Garp's ship was also good because I have no idea how they're going to get out of that one. That's it for this chapter. Ice glove that like button if you enjoyed and let me know what you think about the chapter in the comments. Thanks for watching, let Oda cook, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye bye.